Have you ever felt a little shaky when getting out of bed? Or maybe found yourself needing to grab a chair when trying to stand for more than a few minutes? For many people past the age of 60, this isn't just fatigue. It's not just aging. It's a warning signal from the body that one of its most critical systems is in decline: the strength and function of your legs. Legs are not just limbs that help you walk. They are powerful engines of health. As we age, many of us worry about our heart, our brain, or our blood sugar. But too often we overlook our legs. Yet, weak legs are one of the strongest predictors of future disability, chronic disease, and even mortality. Why? Because strong leg muscles are directly tied to balance, independence, and most importantly, metabolic health. Here's something many people don't realize. When your leg muscles begin to shrink or weaken, it doesn't just affect your mobility. It affects your hormones, your metabolism, your ability to regulate blood sugar, your immune function, your energy. In short, weak legs don't just make you move slower. They make you age faster. It starts slowly. Maybe you stop taking the stairs. Maybe you avoid long walks. Maybe getting up from the floor is a bit harder than it used to be. Over time, those small changes accumulate. Muscles shrink. Capillaries in your leg tissue thin out. The mitochondria, energy factories in your cells, begin to shut down. And once that process begins, it's hard to stop. You lose the internal fire that keeps your body functioning well. Now, let's talk about the risks. A fall after the age of 65 is not just a bruise. It can be a fracture, a hospital stay, a cascade of medical complications. Studies show that about half of older adults who suffer a hip fracture will never regain full mobility. And tragically, 1 in 4 will not survive more than a year or two after the fall. That's not just because of the injury itself. It's because a weakened lower body signals a system that's already under stress. But it's not all doom and decline. Here's the good news. Your legs are still trainable. Even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you can rebuild strength. You can regrow those critical capillaries and mitochondria. Your leg muscles, particularly the big ones like the quadriceps, glutes, and calves, are incredibly responsive to stimulus. And when you stimulate them even with just a few minutes a day, you wake up a whole network of health-promoting signals inside your body. These signals include the release of growth hormone, testosterone, and powerful cellular messengers known as myokines. These aren't just technical terms. These are the very substances that keep your bones strong, your brain sharp, your insulin under control, and your immune system resilient. And the trigger for them? Moving your legs, working your legs, respecting your legs. So if you're someone who's been thinking, "I'm too old to worry about exercise," think again. You're not just fighting to walk better. You're fighting for your independence, for your energy, for your life. Strong legs aren't just about movement. They are about survival. And what's even more encouraging, getting started doesn't require a gym membership. You don't need to lift heavy weights or run marathons. You just need to understand that every time you use your legs with purpose, you're building a stronger, longer, more resilient life. Because in the end, longevity isn't measured in years alone. It's measured in how well you can live those years. And without strong legs, life shrinks physically, emotionally, socially. So let this be your wake-up call. The path to healthy aging starts at your feet. When people think of strength training, they often imagine heavy weights, noisy gyms, and routines designed for athletes or bodybuilders. But for someone in their 50s, 60s, or 70s, real strength begins with something much simpler: mastering your own body weight and targeting the muscles that keep you upright, steady, and safe. There are 3 exercises that every older adult should not only learn, but make a lifelong habit. Done consistently, they can improve your balance, stabilize your core, and quite literally save your life. The first of these is the calf raise. It may sound simple, almost too simple, but don't let that fool you. Your calf muscles are deeply involved in every step you take. They help you push off the ground, stabilize your ankle, and maintain your posture. The calf raise can be done anywhere, at any time. Start by standing next to a wall or a stair rail. Slowly lift your heels off the ground. Rise onto the balls of your feet, then lower down with control. If you're just beginning, start with both feet at once. As you get stronger, try doing it one leg at a time. This movement is more than just muscle work. It engages your circulation, boosts your balance, and even helps regulate blood sugar when done regularly. The second essential movement is the split squat, often called a stair squat in more practical terms. This is a slightly more advanced exercise, but it can be scaled down or modified. Stand near the bottom of a staircase. Place one foot on a lower step and slowly bend the knee, lowering your back leg toward the floor behind you. Then rise back up. The goal is to shift the weight toward the front leg and activate the large muscles in your thigh and glutes. The split squat is powerful because it mimics real-world movements like stepping up, reaching down, or even getting out of a chair. It challenges your balance while building muscle and coordination. Now we come to the lunge. This one can be more demanding, and it's not for everyone. Lunges offer deep engagement of the hips, thighs, and core, but they also require good posture and control. To perform a lunge, step one leg forward, lower your hips until both knees are bent at about a right angle, then push back up. Sounds easy, but here's the truth. Many older adults struggle with this because it challenges both strength and balance. That's why it's essential to start slow, use support if needed, and only go as far as your body allows. If a full lunge is too much, do a partial version or stick with split squats on the stairs. What's important with all three exercises is form. Rushing through them won't help. In fact, it might hurt. Take your time. Move slowly. Feel the muscles activate. Notice how your balance shifts. That awareness is part of the training. Use a chair or stair rail for safety. Wear comfortable clothes. No need to suit up in athletic gear. These exercises are not about appearance. They're about resilience. And here's a tip from someone who's been through the ups and downs of aging joints and stiff muscles. Do these movements as exercise snacks. That means short focus sessions twice a day. Once in the morning, before the day begins. Once at night, before going to bed. These short bursts are easy to fit into your routine and deliver more benefits than long, exhausting workouts. They boost blood flow, help you sleep better, and maintain muscle tone without wearing you out. People often ask, is it really okay to exercise right before bed? The answer, surprisingly, is yes if you're doing the right kind. Gentle, focused movements like calf raises or stair squats actually relax the nervous system and help regulate blood sugar overnight. They ease you into sleep, not away from it. The other concern people raise is about injuries or pain. What if you have knee issues? What if you can't do a full squat? The answer is adapt, modify. You don't need to do these perfectly. You just need to do them consistently. Sit on a chair and lift one leg at a time. Hold on to something. Use resistance bands if needed. The body responds to movement, no matter how small it starts. In the end, these three exercises, calf raises, split squats, and lunges, are not just about muscles. They are about keeping your freedom. The ability to climb stairs, to walk with confidence, to stand without fear of falling. These are things we take for granted until we lose them. So, if you're looking for one change to make this week, let it be this. Start these three exercises. Keep them small, keep them safe, but above all, keep them going. Because when it comes to aging, well, the path forward begins with the strength in your legs. As we grow older, many of us begin to feel a quiet shift in our bodies. Energy drops. Sleep becomes restless. Weight gathers around the midsection, even when we're not eating more. But underneath these changes, something deeper is happening. Something that ties directly to how our muscles, especially our leg muscles, interact with our hormonal systems. It's a connection that's often ignored in typical conversations about aging. But for those of us past the age of 50, it might be the most important piece of the puzzle. Hormones are messengers. They guide everything from how we digest food to how we sleep, feel, and recover. In our younger years, we don't think much about them because they work in the background, quietly keeping the body in balance. But with time, hormone levels shift, and so does the way our body reacts to food, stress, and exercise. The leg muscles, especially the large ones like the quads and glutes, are not just about strength and mobility, they are living hormone factories. When activated through movement, they release powerful substances called myokines. These are molecules that act like messengers, traveling through the bloodstream and telling the body to build more muscle, burn more fat, and regulate energy better. One of the most important hormones affected by leg exercise is insulin. Many people know insulin as the hormone that manages blood sugar. What fewer people know is that insulin resistance, state where your body stops responding properly to insulines, one of the earliest and most dangerous signs of metabolic decline. And here's the key. Working the big leg muscles improves insulin sensitivity. That means better control over blood sugar, lower risk of diabetes, and less inflammation throughout the body. Then there's testosterone. While often thought of as a male hormone, it's crucial for women too, especially after menopause. Testosterone helps with muscle tone, bone strength, and mental clarity. And how do we boost it naturally? By working the legs. Squats, stair climbs, and split squats, all of these exercises, signal the body to produce more testosterone. It doesn't take hours in a gym. It just takes consistency. Another powerful player is growth hormone. Released mostly during deep sleep and after intense physical activity, growth hormone helps the body repair and renew itself. It supports skin, muscle, bone, and even brain health. Exercises that challenge the legs have been shown to increase natural growth hormone levels, helping to keep the body youthful from the inside out. For women, there's another layer. Estrogen, the key hormone that declines with age, is not only tied to fertility, it also plays a major role in regulating fat storage, maintaining muscle mass, and supporting cardiovascular health. Research now shows that strength training, especially in the lower body, can help maintain healthier estrogen levels post-menopause. That means better mood, stronger bones, and more resilience against chronic illness. And then we have cortisol, the stress hormone. In small doses, cortisol helps us wake up in the morning and handle daily challenges. But chronic elevation of cortisol, especially due to inactivity and poor sleep, leads to muscle loss, weight gain, and high blood pressure. The solution? Movement. Gentle, regular leg training helps regulate cortisol, reducing its harmful effects while building a sense of calm strength. What makes all of this so fascinating is that the trigger isn't found in a bottle or a prescription. It's in your body, in your legs. When you move them with purpose, whether that's through stair steps, lunges, or even slow-motion squats, you're not just building muscle. You're sending a message to your entire hormonal system. Stay active, stay balanced, stay alive. Too often, people over 40 are told their decline is inevitable. That energy will fade, that fat will build up, that sleep will suffer. But this is not a law of nature. It's a consequence of disuse. Muscles that are no longer challenged become silent. And when they go quiet, the entire hormonal orchestra loses its rhythm. So here's the invitation. Restore that rhythm. Reignite the hormones that once made you feel young, vital, and clear-headed. The key is not complexity, it's consistency. Small, regular movements, especially those that target your legs, are enough to tilt the hormonal balance back in your favor. This is the missing link. It's not about chasing youth. It's about honoring the systems that sustain you. Your hormones respond to what you do every day. And the most powerful action you can take is to move the muscles that matter most. Everyone knows that exercise is good for you, but knowing and doing are two very different things, especially when you're in your 50s, 60s, or beyond. Maybe your knees ache. Maybe your back flares up now and then. Maybe the thought of going to the gym fills you with dread, not motivation. You're not alone. And you don't need a gym to change your health. The truth is, consistency is not about where you move, it's about how you weave movement into the fabric of your life. And some of the most powerful routines are the simplest ones, done right where you are, in your home, in your clothes, on your time. This idea is what we call the exercise snack. Not a full workout, not an hour at the gym, just a small dose of movement done once or twice a day. It's like brushing your teeth. It doesn't take long, but over time it builds something lasting. It strengthens your base, and it protects your future. Let's paint a picture. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning. Instead of scrolling your phone or rushing to make coffee, you take 3 minutes to do 10 slow calf raises while holding onto the kitchen counter. Then, using the first stair of your home, you do 5 step downs, feeling your thigh muscles stretch and activate. Maybe you end with a few light squats, just as far as your body allows, using a chair for support. That's it, less than 5 minutes. But that small session wakes up your circulation, activates your metabolism, and sets the tone for your day. Then, at night, right before you brush your teeth or settle in for a show, you do it again. No sweat, no outfit change, no equipment. Just your body and your intention. That's the rhythm that works. Morning and evening. Like sunrise and sunset, this becomes part of your day. And here's the beautiful part. The body starts to crave it. Within weeks, you'll notice subtle changes. You'll sleep better. Your legs will feel more solid. Your mood will lift. And most of all, your sense of control will return. But let's be honest. Even simple routines can fall apart if you don't make them easy. That's why environment matters. Keep a light chair in the hallway. Leave a sticky note on the bathroom mirror. Make movement part of your visual space, not something you have to remember or plan. Another tip from people who've done this successfully: tie your movements to habits you already have. Do your leg raises while your coffee brews. Do stair squats while brushing your teeth. Even a few repetitions matter. It's not about pushing hard. It's about showing up. What about pain? Many worry that leg exercises will aggravate old injuries or arthritis. But the secret is modification. If your knees hurt, avoid deep bending. Do seated leg lifts instead. If your balance is shaky, hold on to something. If you're recovering from surgery or illness, start with a single movement and build from there. Every body is different, and that's okay. And if you use a wheelchair, don't think this advice doesn't apply to you. Even seated exercises like resistance band presses, leg lifts, or heel taps can activate the same muscle groups and deliver many of the same metabolic benefits. The key is intention. Use what you have and meet your body where it is. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. There's something deeply empowering about knowing that your living room, your hallway, even your front porch can become your personal health zone. You don't need loud music. You don't need a personal trainer. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to become the version of yourself that moves daily, gently, and with purpose. We've been sold a lie that exercise must be extreme to matter. That if you're not sweating buckets or lifting weights, it's not working. But for someone in their 60s or 70s, the quiet, steady work of bodyweight movements is more than enough. It preserves independence. It builds confidence. It reawakens your body's natural strength. Consistency isn't built on discipline alone. It's built on meaning. And what could be more meaningful than reclaiming your own health? Not for the sake of looking younger, but for the joy of living better. To walk without fear, to get up from a chair without struggling, to bend and stretch and feel alive again. So let this be your new rule. No 0 days. Even if all you do is 5 calf raises, you've moved. You've said to your body, I'm still here. I'm still trying. I'm still building. Because small steps, done consistently, lead to big change. And that's not just a slogan. It's the lived truth of thousands of older adults who've taken charge of their health not through perfect routines, but through consistent care. As we bring this journey to a close, let's talk about something surprising. A practice that sounds simple, but carries enormous power, especially for those of us in our later decades. It's called rucking, and it may just be one of the most overlooked tools for aging strong. What is rucking? At its core, rucking is walking with added weight. It started with military training, where soldiers carried heavy packs over long distances. But for everyday people like you and me, rucking doesn't have to be extreme. It can be as simple as putting on a weighted vest or carrying a small backpack while walking around the neighborhood or climbing stairs. Why does this matter? Because adding just a little extra weight forces your body to work harder, your heart beats stronger, your muscles fire up, your bones receive healthy stress, and most importantly, your metabolism starts to shift. You burn more calories, improve balance, and activate more of your core and lower body muscles without needing any special equipment or gym access. For older adults, this is gold. Because what many people don't realize is that when you lose weight, especially rapidly through diets or medication, you often lose muscle. And muscle is exactly what we can't afford to lose. That's why combining walking with resistance, like rucking, becomes a secret weapon. It rebuilds what age and illness try to take away. You don't need to start with a heavy load. 10 pounds is enough. Even 5 pounds can make a difference. The goal is not to exhaust yourself. The goal is to stimulate your muscles and challenge your balance in a way that's gentle, steady, and sustainable. And now, let's shift from movement to measurement. Because one of the smartest things you can do as you age is to understand what's happening inside your body. Not guess, not assume, but know. That's where metabolic testing comes in. Traditional blood tests give you snapshots. They tell you your cholesterol, your fasting glucose, maybe your blood pressure. But metabolic testing digs deeper. It shows how your body responds to sugar, how quickly your insulin spikes and drops, how strong your grip is, which correlates directly to your overall muscle health, how well your metabolism is functioning, not in theory, but in real time. Imagine having a kit at home that gives you this information, not in a clinic, not with long wait times, but right there, in your living room. That's the power of at-home metabolic risk assessments. And it's not about fear. It's about knowledge. When you know your numbers, you can take action. You can tailor your food, your movement, and your recovery to what your body actually needs. For someone over 60, this is no longer optional. It's essential, because we don't have time to waste guessing. Every year, muscle becomes harder to regain. Every year, blood sugar becomes more reactive. Every year, habits become more fixed. But when you have clarity, when you see the truth in front of you, change becomes easier. Motivation becomes real. And let's be honest, this isn't just about living longer. It's about how you live. Are you able to walk up the stairs without holding your breath? Can you get in and out of a car without pain? Can you chase your grandchild? Or walk the dog? Or carry groceries with confidence? That's what strength gives you. Not just better health markers, but better life moments. So here's the final message. Your legs are not just for walking. They are the foundation of your metabolic power. They regulate your hormones. They shape your balance. They carry your independence. And they hold the key to your future. Don't let them weaken without a fight. Move them daily. Challenge them gently. Respect them deeply. Use tools like rucking to keep them active. Use testing to stay informed. Use consistency to rebuild what time is taken. You don't have to become someone else. You don't have to become a fitness expert. You just have to become the version of yourself who says, I choose to stay strong. Because your health is not about perfection. It's about progression. And no matter your age, it's not too late to begin.